All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today's topic, okay, we're going to talk about physical attraction. When you first see somebody, you don't really know nothing about them, and you first see them, how important is physical attraction to you? Is it like not important really at all? Is it somewhat important? Is it quite a bit of importance? Or is it everything? We'll start with Nene.
Oh, you tricked me.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay.
So,
Girls first.
That is true.
I'm gonna go with a little bit, cause I feel like personality is important. Make me laugh, and that'll work. So a little.
So how quickly within the first meeting somebody do you determine that you're physically attracted to them?
I don't think you can determine it. At least like a week. Not
Wow.
even like a
You're
Oh my
day.
physically
goodness.
attracted
Physically?
to somebody?
Physically attracted
Yeah,
to somebody.
it's physical attraction essentially.
Oh, like
at the end of the day.
instant, like an instant. Just look at them.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll probably know within a couple of hours whether you can date them or not.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. That's a more reasonable answer than your week.
Yeah, but like,
eyes are closed for a week. Like, I don't know.
I
what you
don't
think.
know
so
if
like,
I'm into
so you can tell whether in a couple of hours you'll know like, am I into you? Am I not into you? But some people's standards are like way up here, and I said a little, so it just has to be something that I kind of into.
So you could date someone you're just kind of, you see them and you're like,
Yeah,
you're okay.
yeah, I can kinda see
But
myself
you could date
with
them
you.
and be
Uh-huh.
happy.
Yeah.
As long as their personality is good enough.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Mesa Lou.
I really wish I didn't go after Nay. I'll be honest with
We're
you.
waiting for you because we've heard a lot of podcasts where you bring many women around.
Physical attraction means a lot to me. I definitely wouldn't say it means everything, but I definitely think it means a lot. If I'm not physically attracted to you, it's just something that it's one of those things that it prevents me from being like, oh, I'm super into you. Like I might like your personality and stuff, but if there's not a physical attraction, it's definitely going to prevent me from wanting to move forward at that point. And I would say I noticed pretty quickly. I would say probably within the first few minutes of seeing somebody. I'm not going to wait an hour or 2 hours to be like, man, I'm into this person. Like normally within the first few minutes I can say, I'm attracted to this person or I'm not attracted to this person. Yes. And now I sound really sleazy going after Nay, basically.
You slime ball. Alrighty, and next we will go with
The man of the hour.
the man of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, your relationship guru, Devin.
All right, Mesa, you do not have to feel like a slime ball alone because I feel like it's a lot too. But the thing about it is everyone has their own version of cute because I might see a girl and I think she's cute and I want to go approach to her, but you may not think that, Mesa, or you may not think that, Patrick. Everyone has their own version of, oh, this
Don't leave
person's
out Nay.
attractive. Oh, Nay.
She
Nay
might find that
too.
girl attractive.
Oh, that's true. Someone has their own personal of, oh, this person is attractive. And obviously, guys do that a lot. They go up to the girls that they find physically attractive. So it does mean a lot to me.
So, with that being said, right? Okay, so Mesa, attraction means a lot to you.
Yep.
How open-minded are you about it?
I'm open-minded. Yes, I am. Oh, yeah.
There.
And I think that's the thing, right? So, whenever I say, that physical attraction means a lot to me, it doesn't mean she has to be a 9 or a 10 or, ridiculously attractive, right?
Exactly.
It just means she has to be attractive enough for me to be interested, right? Like, for me, if I find her as well, obviously, you and me have very different scales when we rate women, right? But we've talked about this. But if I find a girl that's above average for me, I'm not gonna find myself turning her away because I'm not ridiculously attracted to her. And that's where personality comes into play. And that's why I think it means a lot opposed to absolutely everything. Because there's a lot of people that are attractive and their personality is terrible.
That is true.
Yeah, exactly where I agree with you, Mason. I agree with
So,
you.
do you think you're open-minded, Devin?
Don't you lie.
Do you think you have this one person in mind and that's kind of what you're looking for?
Do I have this one person in
Not
mind?
one, like, okay.
But
you have
so,
a very
yes,
you have a
you have
very
a very
set
niche
standard.
market you're looking
Yes.
at.
Like an image.
Like a type?
Yes, yeah, yes. Like if you were to sit here and say this is my type, and that's pretty much all you're kind of going for is this type.
Yes.
Rather than like me and Mesa, obviously we've been really good friends for a long time, so like we kind of both know that our type is like there's a huge bubble, right? There's a huge bubble for me and Mesa here, right? Because we've like there's just a lot of different attractions we have to
Yes.
different women. But do you yourself think you fit in that category where you're a lot more open-minded, or do you have this image set that's kind of what you're looking for?
Yeah, that you have something specifically you're looking for.
I would have a type. I would tell you that this is who I'm attracted. This is the girls I find more, attractive. But I wouldn't say I have a type because this might be a girl who wasn't maybe this is my type of girl as in when it comes to physical attraction. It's just who I find attractive at that time. So you can call that open-minded. You can call it open-minded or closed-minded. But I'm not saying I necessarily have a type. I might like this certain type of girl, but if I find a girl out there that looks pretty cute, then yeah, I'm gonna try to approach her.
But I think I'm
trying to answer the best way I can.
no. Hey, whoa, you got aggressive real fast.
Why don't you let me answer?
Oh my gosh.
Mesa Lou, I'm sorry.
Your apology is somewhat accepted.
But I don't think your answer was sincere.
I think, and you made me lose my train of thought, actually. So this might be a bit of a struggle as I'm trying to explain myself now. I think like the point Patrick was trying to make, and I think the way you answered is a little bit different. So the point Patrick was trying to make was, again, I think our bubble's a little bit wider, and we see a girl, and we can say, even though she's not exactly what I'm looking for, I'm attracted to her, right? We can say, I don't have a specific type that I'm going for, and I find her attractive even though she's not brunette or she's not shorter than I am. Where I think just based off conversation we've had is I think you have a type, and if they don't fall in that type, you almost brush them off immediately, and it's harder for you to find them attractive if they're not in your specific type you're looking for.
Yes, like if we were to hold up 20 pictures to Mesa, and he's gonna look at them, right? He's gonna be like, oh yeah, she's cute. I want to see X amount. You're like looking for every picture, but you're looking at this picture that fits your stereotype that you have here, and that's what everyone else is eliminated. You don't care about the rest of them. You're specifically picking that one picture.
I think you're right, and obviously it's not working for me right now. So, well, you know what I mean. I still it's not working for me right now. So I guess I need to learn how to be a little bit more open-minded.
So I have an interesting story, kind of. I knew a guy, a long time ago. I knew a guy one time.
I knew a guy knows a guy?
Yeah. I knew a guy one time, right? That I knew a while back. And he's a black man that was born in a very small community. So he wasn't around like a lot of his same race. He wasn't born around it. So he told me, because I actually kind of had this conversation with him prior, and he told me that he would never, ever, ever date a black woman, right? Because that's just not what he grew up with, even though he's of that race. Now he's happily married with one, and they have 3 kids together, right? And so I'm like, I've always been a firm believer that if you sit there and you kind of say like, this is what I'm not looking for, God is going to show you that every soul can be loved, and that's all he's going to send you. I knew a guy that said he would also never date a woman with kids, right? He goes, I would never date a woman that has kids prior, right? Obviously. He is now with someone who has kids, and she has 2 kids, and he like absolutely loves those kids, right? He spends a lot of time with those kids. So, again, like that's like my life lesson here. Life lesson, Patrick, right?
It was beautiful.
It was,
by the way.
It was really good.
I felt it. It felt real.
Yes.
So like that's kind of what changed my mind growing up. And I don't think I ever really like X'd out people like or women like, oh, you're this and you're this and you look like this and you look like that. But I have become just way more open-minded and be like, you know what, like yeah, she's cute. Because I was kind of like you at one point where she's cute, but she's not my type, right? I'd like if you're physically attracted to her and I'd like, yeah, she's cute, then yeah, you know what, I would have given it a chance, an opportunity.
And I think for me, like, and I've always been pretty open-minded about like the kind of girls I'm going after or like I'm looking for. And I think for me, the way I've always looked at it was, who am I to say like, you know, like I'm not the best looking dude around, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I never have been. So like for me, I've always looked at it like, why am I going to cut off my chances, my odds of being able to be with somebody because they don't fit into this perfect bubble that I've built.
Yes.
It's not necessary. It's not, why cut your chances off? Why make it harder for yourself to find someone that you can fall in love with?
And I think it stems from because again social media has cascaded this whole realm that we're supposed to like we'd be ashamed, right? I don't want to be ashamed of dating this woman,
Right.
And like you shouldn't ever be ashamed, right? You just rock it, whoever you're with. Like again, going back to another story time, back on my old job, right? People would come in and they would ask for specific workers there, and one person came in. They asked for a specific worker. We're gonna call him Jim, right? She was like, "Is Jim here?" Right? And I went to the back and I was like, "Hey Jim, there's a client here for you." He's like, "Is she hot?" And I mean to somebody, right?
Right.
And like that's how it is, right? Like this girl's gonna be like when you find that person, she's gonna be the most beautiful girl you've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's why I've always been notorious, and I'll argue with Mesa a lot on this. Is like I've never seen a dime, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like a 10, because to me like the 10 is gonna be my wife. Like when I am proposing to this woman, that is my 10, right? That is here. When I'm on my knee, that is my 10, and like to me that's how it's gonna be. I read this article a long time ago. I'm talking a lot. Sorry, I haven't had any wine. I'm still talking a lot. I'm just kidding. But I read this article a long time ago, and this is this like new study, right? And it talked about how as women get older, they tend to be a lot more self-conscious about their weight, right? And it said that the husbands hardly ever notice their weight gain, right? The only time that it starts the husbands will start to notice is when the wife starts to kind of continuously bring it up, and she's
makes
like,
it a point to
I'm
bring
making,
it up.
oh, look at me, I'm gaining weight. Oh, look at me. That's the only time that the husband will ever notice. But most of the time, the husband sees this lady as the same 21-year-old, bombshell that he met 20 years ago. And so, like, that's, like, again, going back to that mentality of, like, this girl you meet is going to be the most gorgeous person you've ever met because it's gone kind of a little bit step above physical attraction.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I mean, it has to because everybody gets old, and has to be beyond attraction. It has to be personality.
Can I just say that was beautiful what you said about
Thank
the
you.
dive thing?
I was like, I feel like I just opened up here, and he was like, well, duh. I was like, God dang, okay, my bad. I thought those were good points.
That was good points. That was great points.
I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh.
And then and of course, like as a guy, you always hear that question, right? Like, does this make me look fat?
Right. Uh-huh.
And like as a guy, you're trained for forever to say absolutely not, not even kind of.
Uh-huh.
Like, but it's because of just like the fact that girls, their self-esteem like can be dropped so easily, and a lot of times that's how they feel. Like whenever they gain weight, they start to beat up on themselves, and it's one of those things. As a guy, it's our job to really make it a point to help them understand how beautiful we think they are at the end of the day.
Aww.
No matter what.
Why is he getting on? I got it. Well, duh. There's something wrong here.
You're a lot nicer than I am.
So, Devin, going back to the question here,
Okay.
would you say now you're still going to have this stereotype that you're looking for? Or 2020, Devin is going to be a little more open-minded about what comes through that door?
I'm gonna be a little bit more open-minded, but I will still let you know whether if I find this person attractive. But I'll be a little bit more open-minded, as in not having a type.
All right.
Interesting.
That is an interesting answer. I don't think we learned a lesson here today, guys. You guys tune in the comments below. Did Devin learn his lesson?
I would be curious to see what people would think about that, honestly, whether or not they feel from the beginning of the episode how Devin felt to the end of the episode how Devin felt.
I thought this went really well. But
It would be, yeah, because and it goes hand in hand too with like people who become friends with somebody and they don't date forever. And it's like one of those things like maybe you don't find that person like physically attractive.
yeah.
That was attraction was there, and then y'all have just spent so much time together that it went from like a friendship to something more. So again, like there's just so many different variables here that you have to be a little more open minded to like trying everything, right, and getting to know people.
For sure, and that's one of the things too we've talked about briefly about the friend zone, right? And that's a whole other topic for another episode as well.
That we're all excited for.
Yes, but at the end of the day, like it's one of those things that personality and the chemistry means so much. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people start off as just friends and can eventually grow into a relationship that's bonded over not just looks first. And I think those are the relationships that last longer because you have so many things in common. You have so many things to bond over opposed to just your looks. Because like Naomi said, we all know that looks don't last forever. And I mean, for some people, I mean, like Jennifer Aniston or something like that, like good for her. Like, but we're not also lucky. And when that's the case, you still have that bond and those things over to that grew at the end of the day.
So stemming off of a kind of another topic, but to me that goes very hand in hand with this, just because of a conversation we've had. If we're talking about being open-minded,
Okay.
there's a difference between being open-minded and pity dates.
Oh,
Right?
for sure.
You cannot attempt to be open-minded about something, but really you're not into the date. You just want to be this good guy, right?
Right.
That's just taking the date. Because then it becomes a pity date, and that's not right to the woman, or if you're a woman, it's not right to the man. So there's a difference between being honestly and genuine open-minded and like just open-minded about everything, than just being like, I want to play the role, but here's a pity date, and I know at the end it's not what I want.
No, for sure, it's not going to be a thing. Because I learned recently, when we last talked, that there are people that go out on dates for free meals.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
I
true.
was not aware of that. So.
I can't believe him. This whole time, his whole life, he hasn't realized that women used him for that.
And I do. I pay for everything.
I know
Like
you
Yeah.
I go
Why do you think
like,
I'm your friend?
What?
I do
Just
owe you
kidding.
lunch,
You
buddy.
do owe me lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
So-
yeah. So
and
I
that
had
kinda
something I learned.
sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like that would go ahead and like imagine if you see this girl and you're like super attracted to her and you're like, man, like this girl, she's awesome, and then y'all go on this date and you find out later in the grapevine that it was just a pity date,
Yeah,
right?
it was a
She was
pity
like,
date, and she
I-
went for the meal.
Yeah, she just went for the mill, or she just went because she didn't want to feel bad. Like you can't pity date people. That's not the right thing to do. Got to be honest. We're not telling you have to go out and date everybody. What we are saying, like, you have to be open-minded. This stereotype that you're looking for, this type A you're looking for, I don't think they are sent to you.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
God doesn't bring her and knock. She doesn't knock on your door.
Yeah, like she's not. I feel like a lot of people have the attitude that, like, really, like you're just gonna wake up one day and this
Run into
girl's gonna
her,
be
like-
standing outside your house with a billboard that says, "Devin, I'm here for you," right? Like you're gonna have to make some moves and you're gonna have to go out in there and find somebody. But we didn't even mention our greatest point. So we called Barbara, one of our big fans, who is Devin's grandma, and asked her this exact question.
Okay.
right?
I'm intrigued.
Yes. And she said there's only been a handful of guys in her lifetime that she has found physically attractive.
Wow.
Right? Because she said that doesn't matter to her at all. She could be in a room full of guys, and she's going to go to each one to find that one that she just connects with. Right? So that... Mason just headbutted the
I
microphone.
did headbutt the microphone. I apologize.
But yeah, so that was her mentality. Her mentality is like, no, like physical attractive, she doesn't care about that. That's like, that's nothing, right? Because there's only been a handful of guys she's ever met. So that's great advice by her.
Yeah,
Our
and I
big
think
fans.
that's huge, right? And that's such an important, because there are a ton of people that really feel that way, that feel like that physical attraction is absolutely nothing. It's all about the connection. But then you have the people on the other side where it means absolutely everything.
Yes.
Where like they won't give someone a chance based off of their looks because immediately they didn't find them super attractive.
Yep.
So now they're cut off and they're in the friend zone for forever, or
They're just ghosted.
They ghost them exactly. And then they have the people that they run into and have no personality, nothing in common, nothing, and they're drooling over them because of the way they look.
Yep.